back, everybody. Here we are. I debated playing like the Masters music or like some sort of like lead-in music to this, but I figured I'd leave the Masters music for the Masters show. And I couldn't come up with a different theme song in the meantime.
Plus, getting a copyright strike from the Masters is probably much more punishing than YouTube.
Yeah, that's true too.
They don't like that.
But here we are. A tradition unlike any other is the annual Sarcasm Speaks Celebrity Death Pool. Here we are. This is our episode. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see the same 5 mugs that you saw this time last year, with the addition of, also want to give a shout out to Nick, friend of the show. He couldn't be with us.
What is he, dead? Did he pick himself? Yeah, he picked himself. Did he pick himself and submit a list that just says me?
I'm really glad you picked up on me trying to hold back the laugh when I said that. He's with us in spirit for this episode. Very timely. But he gave me a list of people with a little rundown for each of them. So I will share Nick's list on his behalf. And then we'll go from there. But that was pretty good. I couldn't even get through it without laughing the way I said that. And I didn't even do it on purpose. But so before we get into that, Bob did say before we hit record, if we want to lay a couple ground rules down. So Bob, who in particular were you talking about?
So Val Kilmer was my question for this year because he is very sick. Doesn't look great for him.
Right.
But he's not Alex Trebek with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Is that the bad one? Yes, pancreatic.
Yeah, pancreatic is like literally once you get it, you got like 6 months. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, he might actually live a while, but I just don't know if I see it.
Yeah.
So
I guess where do we all stand on like the terminally ill?
Well, terminally ill is a no.
Right. But yes. So we did.
He's not terminally.
2 years ago. Everything's fucked up now because technically it's 2023. So I don't know if it was 2 years ago or if it's 3 years ago. If someone out there is gonna be like, "Oh, that was 3 years ago," because fuck off. But either 2 or 3 years
thanks for
ago,
paying attention.
Whatever year we did it, we had agreed not to pick Ozzy Osbourne because he had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And come to find out, the fucking guy is still alive 3 years later.
Yeah, because British motherfuckers don't die.
Yeah, that's true. So
have we ever hit on a British person besides the fucking Queen?
I was just say the Queen.
Yeah, we did hit the Queen.
Rolling Stones, dude.
Oh, that's
yeah, that's true too. Yeah. So
I guess let's do this then. Let's just take Val Kilmer can be a show pick.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
That way no one has to be right or wrong, but
right.
Everyone's kind of like leaning the same way, like, yeah, okay. Because again, if it was like Trebek's the best example where it's like, okay, he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, just came out. Like, you can't pick him because he's gonna fucking die. We know that. It's just time.
Right.
So
yeah.
And Val Kilmer, I wouldn't have even known how sick he was if Top Gun didn't come out.
Right.
It's true.
That's like another thing.
Yeah.
So I say show pick, Val Kilmer.
All right, Val Kilmer is a show pick. I'm writing it down. He's on the list as a show pick. All right, it's official. So before we jump in, and now that we've agreed, like no terminally ill homies, I just want to take a quick look back at how absolutely terrible we did last year on this very show. So last year we've got, I think we had 20 people between the 5 of us, and we hit 2. Mike hit on Queen Elizabeth, and Bob, you hit on Marsha Hunt. And to be fair, we didn't even know Marsha Hunt had died until about a week and a half ago. Was that on air? Was it the last time Chris was on? We were talking about that? Yeah.
Because I didn't know I took her because you're just some old person. I think my strategy was 2 old people and then 2 people that are like wild cards.
Yeah.
Because in the past I've taken Kanye, I've taken Britney Spears, I took Biden, I took the Alibaba guy that went missing.
Yep. Yeah, you did actually. You took Kanye last year. You were ahead of your time because Kanye would have been a real popular pick right around like October. But you picked him in January. You had the foresight there. I mean, you still lost because he didn't die.
Right. He's still alive.
But you had a good closing line value.
Dude, it was the right pick. It just didn't work out.
Great CLV on that pick. Yeah, I mean, some of these other people, like we had so Chris, you had Joe Rogan, Machine Gun Kelly, and Ringo Starr. Mike, you had obviously the Queen, Antonio Brown, Jimmy Carter, Jake Paul. Jones had Marv Albert, Judge Judy, Bob Dylan, Howard Stern, and then the honorable me, meaning Jones himself. Bob had Henry Kissinger, Marsha Hunt that hit, the Road Dogg Jesse James, which I thought was pretty good. And then Kanye, obviously, that we just talked about. And then I went 0 for 4 on the oldest motherfucker in the world, Tony Bennett, who still didn't die. Maggie Smith, who I didn't want to die anyway, but that means she'll probably die this year instead. Yep. And then Lamar Odom and Noam Chomsky. So all of those names that were listed, we also we'll exclude them from this year. So part of the shtick, as long as we've been doing this, is typically we've not allowed repeat picks, but it's more along the lines of like back-to-back years. So like now that we're going to be doing this for a while, like if someone got picked in 2020 and you want to take him for 2023, you go for it. Like I don't really give a shit at that point. Like we've been doing it long enough. But let's try and not pick someone that was already picked last year. So no piggybacking years. So now we got those parameters all set.
Start with Nick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go with Nick's picks first. That rhymes. Doing a lot of things by accident today. So without further ado, here we are. Sarcasm Speaks 2023 Celebrity Death Pool. Up first is Nick. So he actually also gave some categories for each of these people, and I'm just going to share what in the text that he sent me, and because this part's great. He goes, first and foremost, I know you guys usually have a politician category, but I say fuck all politicians. Hopefully they all die in 2023, to which I say, right on, Nick.
I'm good with that.
I think you just got 5 head nods. Yeah. All 5 of us on this screen were like, yep, yeah, that'd be great. So up first, he has Ringo Starr. Now I know literally 15 seconds ago I said no repeat picks, but he's not here to defend himself or change. So I'm already going to make an exception for, because he wasn't part of the show last year.
Right.
So this is his first year. I'll let it slide. So he can have Ringo, but none of the other ones are repeats. Then he gave an athlete, which was Sandy Koufax, who, when I read that name, I was like, wow, he's still alive. He's got to be like fucking 100 at this point.
Somebody confirm that.
Yeah. Like Sandy Koufax was playing like during fucking.
He played with Jackie Robinson?
Yeah, I was going to say he played during like the 40s and 50s, I think. But hey, that's a great pick.
He's 87.
Holy shit. Wow. That's a lot younger than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be like 95.
55 to 66.
Yeah. Yeah. So his third pick, he has Gary Busey.
Oh God, how have we never taken him?
Which
can't die. Come on.
Absolutely incredible pick. But like that,
he looks like hell.
he looks like he died 12 years ago.
Yeah, he's been dead for fucking 20 years.
Yeah, it almost makes me think he can't die.
Yeah. Actually, that just made me think, where do we stand on Avril Lavigne? Because technically she died 20 years ago.
Just Avril Lavigne body double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
So then he also threw in a wrestler category, and he let me know because wrestlers die more than anyone else out there, which I think is pretty legit.
Pause. Except I'll cycle back around to what
Okay.
you go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're good,
I have
you're
another
good.
category where they're dying equally as fast. On.
And then he has Paul White, aka The Big Show,
Oh, the Big Show.
Yep.
Yeah.
which
That's-
another great pick, right? It's like old big people don't live that long, right? They're like, you think of like a Great Dane, right? The dog, it lives, you get like 7 or 8 years. The bigger the thing, probably the least you're gonna get out of there. And he's what, 7'4", 500 pounds, something like that. That's pretty fucking big.
He lost a shit ton of weight.
Yeah. He probably still did a bunch of steroids that fucked him up though. So, or all kinds of other drugs. He was a professional wrestler. He definitely did cocaine
all
and
the
fucking,
drugs.
yeah,
Yeah.
who knows what else. And then for his last pick, he comes in with a like a sleeper pick. He calls it like a famous under 30, which I think is a great category. And he's got Harry Styles.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are his 5. Just a quick another rundown. Ringo Starr, Sandy Koufax, Gary Busey, The Big Show, and Harry Styles.
Credit to you, Nick. Good list.
Yeah, it's a great list. All right. So we got Nick. Who wants to go next?
I can go. So I didn't do it so eloquently with categories, but turns out mine kind of go in categories. So my wrestler is Scott Steiner. Like,
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, like the fact that he's still alive is fucking remarkable.
Yeah.
I thought he died like 15 years ago.
Still kicking. Big Papa Pump.
Yeah. That was the dude with the chainmail, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second, Burt Bacharach. Purely for being old.
Why do I know that name?
Because
Austin Powers.
Austin
Powers, yeah.
Powers.
Okay.
Now he did some other stuff because he was old then too. So he probably did some famous shit that I just ignore.
Was he an actor?
Singer.
Musician.
Oh, okay.
Because he was playing the piano.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like in like the random Austin Powers scene where he like, and ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach, he just starts playing the piano.
Is that the first Austin Powers?
All 3.
I want to say if it wasn't all 3, it was definitely the first 2. And I think someone comes to join him on one of them, whatever. I'm also, I guess my athlete is Brett Favre.
Ooh.
I just think he's
Brett Favre?
so ridden hard, put away wet. Like he's got the pedigree for an athlete that would die young. And things just really aren't going too well for Mr. Favre right now. Stealing welfare money and whatever. I just feel like, once you start stealing welfare money when you were a professional athlete, like, dude, you can't have that much longer to go. And my last is going to be Andrew Tate. Now,
Respect him.
to be fair, I know almost next to nothing about this guy. But when you get hit internationally for like rape and human trafficking, I just don't really think that sits too well with you.
Yeah.
Just doesn't. It's not a good look.
So not to like totally derail a celebrity, death pool episode and go down a rabbit hole, but I didn't really know anything about this guy. And then I started like seeing all the stuff popping up on Twitter. And so this is one of those like weird situations, right? So I actually talked to Mike and Chris about this before with this Andrew Tate guy. Cause again, I didn't know who he was, but I started seeing people posting stuff on Twitter of interviews that he was giving. And he literally was telling people like, yeah, they're going to arrest me for some reason. Like they'll make it up and they'll just arrest me. And then everyone will just go along with it and no one will question it because the establishment in quotation marks hates me. And this is what they'll do. And then he said
better.
like,
So the guy's
then
either
he
out of
goes,
his
"Then
mind or
they'll kill
people
me."
want him dead.
so he said 2 things. So I don't know, Chris, you might know who Zuby is. He's been on Rogan before.
I've seen the. Yeah.
Newbie's good.
Yeah, he's actually the guy. He's the black podcaster from the UK that amidst like the peak of craziness said that he identified as a female for 15 minutes and then set the world record for women's deadlift and then was like, yeah, I'm a guy again. So like that's Zuby. He has a great podcast. Like he's been on Rogan at least once. But he posted the clip of Andrew Tate on his podcast. And Andrew Tate had said, like, yeah, they'll arrest me. And then if that doesn't work, they're going to kill me. And he said, like, over and over, he goes, every time I go on a podcast, I say this, so it's on record. I would never kill myself. He's like, I would never commit suicide. So just know that, like, if something does happen and it looks like I committed suicide, it wasn't me. And so, again, my knee-jerk reaction was, fuck this guy. Anybody that's involved in human trafficking can get fucking American History X curb stomped for all I care. But, like, then I started seeing all this other stuff. And now I'm kind of like, I'm going to wait until all the information comes out and then I'm going to make a judgment. I know a lot of people don't like him. And I know he says a lot of really controversial shit. I really know nothing about him other than like what I've read in the last like 4 days. But this is super interesting. And I like that pick. I like the
I was going to say someone in what it came down to for me, because I didn't realize that there was this much to it. But someone who like everyone's kind of talking about and is involved in some fucked up shit, whether he did it, didn't do it, is guilty, is innocent, doesn't matter. I'm picking him for the pool.
Yeah.
And if you want me to give an assessment on his character, I couldn't do it because I don't know him. I don't even know what the fuck he is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that. It's interesting stuff. If anyone hasn't been following that, truthfully, I haven't followed it super closely either, other than like the stuff I just saw on Twitter, but it's definitely interesting to keep an eye on. All right. So who we got next? Who wants to go?
I can go.
All right.
So first up in the politician category, we have Dianne Feinstein,
Oh,
senator from California. Bitch is old.
Is she done? Did she retire this year? Was she up for election and not rerun?
I don't know. I just know that she's still in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would assume, I mean, she's fucking 89. So
yeah. Because it could be one of those situations. What I was getting at was like, you know, when like someone works literally forever and then they retire and they're dead like 6 months later.
Yeah. Joe
like,
Pa.
Yeah. Yep.
Bear
It happens
Bryant.
all the time. So I didn't know that could be a good pick especially if she's leaving office.
So she's been in office since 92. She's been a sitting U.S. senator since 92. So she can die.
My entire life.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, she's been in politics for fucking ever. And I mean, like, she's a California person, so.
Great. Our favorite.
Yeah.
Also, I have Bernie in the politician realm.
Okay. Bernie Sanders.
How
How is he going to run for 2024 if he dies this year?
I mean, I don't know. He's fucking old as shit, though, too. He's fucking 81.
Yeah.
He's a year younger than, or a year older than Sleepy Joe. So we got that.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Then I have Ric Flair, who's 73.
That's a sad one.
I'm shocked he's not dead yet.
Yeah.
I'm shocked he's only in his 70s.
Same.
I thought he was in his 70s in like 2005.
Yeah, he looks like he's 90.
Just had his last match like 4 months ago.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And then I have Terry Bradshaw, which
Oh yeah, he's going a little off the deep end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And then Dark Horse is Brian May. I know British motherfuckers don't die, but Brian May is old as shit.
Guitarist and Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's 75.
One of the greatest ever.
Dr. Brian May.
And the dark horse is Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Would
he
be
did not look good in Peanut Butter Falcon. And he was an actor in that movie, not just like alive on the street walking around. And he looked like shit.
He was doing AEW stuff a few months back, and he didn't look great.
He's got his own podcast now. He does his own podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And the honorable me,
because we have to every year. The only one we allow every single year. The only repeat we allow. All right. Mike, you want to go next?
Yeah, why not? So first person I'm gonna pick is that Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto guy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
He was on
That's a
my
good
list.
one.
That's a good one.
Like sort of like an Epstein without the sex crimes. Like there's no way that they're gonna let him live.
Yeah. He's tied to too many powerful people.
Oh yeah. He's gonna end himself in prison in the next like 6 months.
Yep.
He's
Next
out
one-
though, right? They let him out.
Yeah.
I think he did post
Yeah,
bail.
on
Yeah, I think
what
he's
was it, like
out.
$250 million bond or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you pay? 10% of that?
Yeah,
10%.
they're gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
find him hacked up in a dumpster somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like because he's on house arrest or whatever at his parents' house. He's gonna like go out to like get Burger King and get mysteriously jumped by a homeless guy and murdered by a homeless guy.
Well, it
A crazed person on bath salts.
He
is gonna
does
kill
live in California, so that doesn't exactly mean that it's not impossible.
Yeah, that's why they're gonna do it. Plausible deniability, you know?
What is it, the fucking Bowery gonna kill him? This is John Wick.
Yeah. One gold coin, please.
Next one goes Mel Brooks.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
He's like a million years old.
Exactly. He's
Is
just
he
like
95?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
something like that.
he's up there. He's wicked old. Next one, Steven Tyler.
Oh,
Ooh. Local
I like
guy.
please.
I like
Did you say please?
Right, I fuck Steven Tyler.
Yeah, I
Nope.
Aerosmith has to be one of the most overrated bands. of
Yeah,
all time.
100%.
Yeah, I would say even more so around here, just
Yep.
because they're from Boston. So everyone around here loses their shit. They're like, oh, Aerosmith. Like, okay, they were
Not a good band.
He
They
can't
were
sing.
okay.
He's never been able to fucking sing. Anyways, sorry.
He's like a less good Mick Jagger.
Yes.
Yep.
Another one, because he's wicked old, William Shatner.
Ooh,
ooh, that's a good pick.
that is a good one.
Does he even do Priceline commercials anymore?
No,
I don't even know. I haven't seen him.
He does
He's
like
stopped.
the unexplained on History Channel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, is he just like a voice actor now?
Pretty much.
Yeah, he retired from Priceline like 2 years ago. What's her face took it over? Kaylee Cuoco, the hot blonde
okay.
from the
Big
show
Bang.
that everyone hates, but went on for like 30 years.
8
Friends?
Simple Rules.
Oh yeah, she was on that.
I know
Yeah.
she was.
The fuck, what was it called? Why can't I think of the name of the show?
Friends?
No, the one
I
with
was
the
just gonna say
nerds.
Friends.
The
He just
science.
said it. He just
Big Bang
my-
Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Bang Theory. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Come on, there's
Big Bang
5 people. You got to listen better.
I know. Shit, I gotta turn on my headphones. All right. Is that just the 4?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure I didn't cut you off. All right. That leaves Chris.
All right.
What do we got?
So the first one we're going with, I don't know if anyone has picked him before. And I don't know how. Bam Margera.
Oh, he was on my list for this year.
Seriously?
Yeah, I swear
Dude.
to God. I was
How
so
the
pumped that I had him. I was like,
I'm
dude,
sorry.
No,
I apologize.
That's a great one.
How
I-
the fuck is Bam still alive?
Yeah, it's not great.
He-
Because
he
I looked,
looks-
I actually, so I really liked Viva La Bam when that was like active. So like every couple years, I'll like, hey, you know what? I wonder what Bam Margera is doing these days.
Yeah, getting arrested.
It's not great. Like divorce,
He's-
getting
yeah.
arrested,
He's
fucking
a
drinking too
fucking-
much.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
That's really sad. All right, next one. This is the community I was speaking about that is dying at the same rate or more as the wrestlers, is like the celebrity bodybuilders.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Callum Von Moger.
Okay.
You guys familiar with him?
I don't actually know
No.
that one.
Callum?
Callum. Yep. Calum.
Mhm.
He's an Australian dude. He what the fuck? He was in some movie. I don't know. He was kind of like billed as the next Arnold.
He's
Okay.
pretty young, 32.
Yeah, he's young, but he's got all sorts of mental shit going on. He just tried to, like, over the past year, like, jumped out of a second or third story window, like, went through the fucking glass and tried to kill himself.
Oh, dude.
But just in the scheme of these dudes that are just roided out of their heads and doing all the drugs, Rich Piana style, like, I feel like he's close, if not there. I did have Sam Bankman-Fried, but I do have a backup that I just was thinking of when Dianne Feinstein's name came up. Paul Pelosi. Like,
Ooh.
we can't have this. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be having your gay lover show up at midnight and trying to assault you. Like, he's a fucking liability. We gotta
Yeah.
get him out of there.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna go, and he's pretty ancient, anyways. So that's 3, and I'm trying to pick between the last 2, and I think I'm gonna go with Lizzo.
What do you mean, dude? She's like picturesque of health.
Sure. She's picture of health. She's simply too fat, right? Like, we can't be that fat. That's
No, not and you can't do that
No.
and live a long, healthy life.
no.
yeah, yeah.
And she's old in the bodybuilder. She's 34. So
Is she? I thought she was younger than that, but okay, even better. But those are my 4.
You kind of got the 2 opposite ends of the spectrum there.
I like where the head's at. Though, you know what though? Because it's like you can just find the 4 oldest people that you've heard of and pick them
Yeah.
and be like, oh, well,
'Cause
they're old.
I had initially had, and I took it off because I had James Earl Jones down because he's like 91 or
Yeah.
92.
There's a few people
but-
that like you just don't want to put on the list. Like last year, I didn't want to put Maggie Smith on my list, but I did, right? And there were 2 people that I struggled with, and they're not on my list for this year, but I almost put them on. And one of them was Judi Dench, and the other one was Harrison Ford.
No, I thought of Harrison Ford too.
So now that I said that, they're both going to die this year, which is going to really fucking suck because I don't want either of them to die. But you know, those were 2 people that I did think of that I was like, I kind of really want to put them on, but I would be really sad if they died. So obviously, Judi Dench is M from James. She was she the longest running M on James Bond?
Yeah.
Thanks.
She was Pierce Brosnan's M2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how long the original guy went. Actually, there were 2. You know what? I don't know how many M's there've been.
Yeah.
Q lasted a while. He lasted like
Q,
fucking
yeah.
40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was John Cleese for
yeah,
like
for one.
for
the
like
worst
one
movie.
episode. Yeah, for the worst movie ever. And then it was the young kid. So, all right. So here we go. I will be the caboose here. My first pick is an athlete who's just really fucking old, is Luis Aparicio, who was a shortstop back in like the 50s. I think he retired. He mostly played with the White Sox. He's known for playing with the White Sox, but he ended his career with the Red Sox in the 70s. He was on the Red Sox. I think he retired in 1975. So he's like 92 years old or some bullshit like that. He was one of the first, what was he? Venezuelan or Colombian or something like
Venezuelan.
that.
I'm looking him up
Venezuelan.
right
Yeah.
now. Yep.
He was like one of the very first Venezuelan baseball players. He like opened the door for all of them. So he's in the Hall of Fame. So Luis Aparicio, or Luis Aparicio, however the fuck you're supposed to say that. He's number 1 for me. Number 2 is a sad one. He's one of these that I didn't want to put on my list, but I had to put someone, right? And he's an actor, British actor, Michael Caine. So if anyone is like, who the fuck is Michael Caine?
Go fuck yourself.
First of all, go fuck yourself. He's been in like a million things, but you probably most know him for Alfred in Batman. But I mean, like I said, he's been in fucking everything. He's been acting.
Speaking of Austin Powers.
Yeah, he was the dad in Austin Powers. He's probably been acting for like 60 years, if not more. He was born in 1933, so probably since at least the 50s. So he's one. Again, it's one I didn't really want, but got to pick someone, right? Next, I went with like kind of a wild, out of nowhere type of thing, but this guy is fucking insane. Andy Dick.
Ooh,
that's a good pick.
Andy Dick is known for being off the fucking chain, loves drugs. He's like probably in his late 50s now at this point. And like, you can't be doing a bunch of cocaine in your late 50s. That's a great way to die. So
no attitude.
Have you heard Rogan talk about him? Because they did news radio together.
Yeah.
And he said that Andy Dick is like the funniest person he's ever known.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of really fucked
man.
up stories. So Ross Patterson from Drinking Bros has had some interactions with Andy Dick, and he's talked about it on the show in the past, and literally said that like some of the most fucked up things that he's ever like come across have been at the hands of Andy Dick. Yeah. Like I don't know how, like Ross was saying at one point at the height of like the Me Too stuff, he was like, I have no fucking idea how Andy Dick has gotten through all of this unscathed, because apparently he was like worse than Harvey Weinstein.
Worse than like a Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, like combined.
Yeah.
So as of November 15th, 2022, he may have gotten rid of, or he may have gotten away with everything in Hollywood unscathed, but he's going to jail for groping.
Really?
He's going to jail for groping an Uber driver.
Oh, Jesus.
So he has to do 90 days in jail. He's got 12 months of summary probation upon release. He has to register as a sex offender.
Jesus.
He has to do 52 AA sessions, 52 sexual compulsion anonymous sessions, 12 counseling sessions.
They put it out there that he publicly has to go to sexual compulsive, whatever that
sexual
was.
compulsion anonymous.
Anonymous, right? Very good. Perfect.
Hey, aren't you Andy Dick?
Yeah, seriously.
And James got away scot-free.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right. So I guess
it was a guy. He
of course it was
a guy.
Oh yeah.
Isn't he gay?
That's all he does. That's what he goes around grabbing dudes' dicks all the time.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Precisely what he did.
Yeah.
Grabbed his balls.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that makes me like my pick now more or less. But that is definitely something. Maybe I don't know. That's interesting. And then so my last pick that I have here is Macaulay Culkin. Ooh. So he's on the younger side. He's probably like he might be in his late 30s at this point.
He's got to be in his 40s.
He's probably 40s.
Maybe 40s. All right. Either way, he looks like he's about 65. And he obviously had a lot of fucking drug problems for a really long time.
He's 42.
Oh, wow. Yeah, like you just said, he's one of those when you say the name, you're like, wow, he's still alive. So yeah, I'll go Macaulay Culkin.
I think he's doing better now than he
Yeah, it
was.
wasn't good
That's-
for a while.
Yeah, I'd say that's
He had a
not much
kid
of a
with
statement.
one of the chicks from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody or something like that. The Asian girl. Am I showing how much younger I am?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, how many did we all did 4? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I have one more. Can we agree? Can we take a vote on a show pick for a second show pick?
Go
Do
on.
it.
How do we feel about Roseanne Barr?
How
She
do I
can go.
feel?
She can 1000% go.
She's got some legitimate mental issues.
Yeah, she was back. I just saw somebody posted something with her.
I think she's touring again.
in
I think
Texas. She was doing something, or she's on
yeah,
stage.
I think
doing...
she's going back on the road. So maybe that'll like give her a purpose. It could go one of two ways, right? It can either give her a purpose and like kind of get her shit together, or it can like re-expose her to like the life and get her back down fucking drugs and booze. And I mean, I don't think she ever got sober, but you know,
that show was before all of your times, right, Roseanne?
I used to watch
Roseanne.
it as a kid.
It was in syndication.
It was in syndication when we were
so good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah. I remember watching it and liking it. Yeah. I couldn't tell you truthfully like what any of the plot lines were about. But I do remember watching it.
Didn't they bring the show back and kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did something. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was conservative.
Yeah.
They brought back the show, and then she went public about like being a conservative and voting for Republicans. And so
she went bad on I can't remember. She compared that woman to the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
Tweet with her ambient, her quote unquote,
her ambient
induced tweet, whatever the fuck that was.
That's right. But that's right. Yeah, so they killed her off the show, and then I think the show tanked. Well, it could have tanked. It might still be on the air because they can't fucking make any TV shows that do anything good today because of just the way the world, like with streaming and everything is. But it's funny. Like, I think like a good TV show now does like a 6.
Dude, the show, the remake of the show is still on. They're still making episodes. The Connors.
Connors, yeah.
Holy shit.
Huh.
Oh, Sarah Gilbert.
John Goodman needs work, so they're
they're keeping him going.
Also, not for nothing, but Bill Cosby's still going back on the road.
Dude, I saw him live like 20 years ago. I saw him do stand up 20 years ago.
Did he tell the pudding joke?
It wasn't good. It was not good.
I forget who. Oh, it was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy tells the joke about how Bill Cosby like pulled him aside and was like, "You need to stop swearing." And Eddie Murphy was like, "Yeah, fuck you, Bill." Like, that's a guy that I would love to see get back and going.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he was incredible when he was.
Is he doing anything anymore?
He made Coming to America too.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was.
I think I don't know where I heard this that he was starting to get back a little bit into stand up, but like you got to think he's been out of stand up for 30 years.
Oh yeah.
And like you almost don't want to like that's so much pressure coming back because he was one of the greats. You don't want to tarnish that legacy if he comes back and he's not as good as he was. It's almost impossible. You can't be as good as Eddie Murphy was in the fucking 80s. So
no.
I heard, I don't remember where I heard that. I heard someone talking about that. Another comedian talking about that.
Chris Rock's coming back.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. I've heard Chris Rock is like unfucking believable. Apparently Eddie Murphy has made another Beverly Hills Cop.
Good.
That's been
We needed that.
announced. Yeah, yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's been announced. There hasn't been like what year it's coming out yet,
Yeah.
but it's been announced that it is coming out. Was the last one? Yeah, the last one he did was Raw. Eddie Murphy Raw in
87.
1987. So yeah, he hasn't had a stand-up special
Just 35 years.
35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he'll come back to stand up. There's no reason for him to.
Yeah. I mean, why would you, right?
Yeah. Make your money in your movies, making shitty sequels.
Exactly. Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, that no one has to watch.
Right. That originally also came out probably in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I just looked it up. Beverly Hills Cop came out in 1984, which that was a good movie. I like Beverly Hills Cop.
Very good movie.
Do we need 4 of them? No,
Nope.
because
We don't need one now.
yeah, because the 4th one is the one that just got announced. But fuck, was he good? All right. We start. Should we go into final thoughts here?
Probably just go to final thoughts. We got to do 5 of them.
All right.
I can start out.
Yeah,
I can
I was
start
going
out.
to say we can just go in the order of the screen here.
Yeah, I'll just
Well,
start.
my screen,
Because I don't know if your screen's the same
I'm
as my
recording,
screen.
so the people that watch it on YouTube are going to see my screen.
You tell us what we're doing.
So
Host.
So I was in Portsmouth this past weekend, a place I visited once,
Fucking humble brag.
and
In the great state of New Hampshire.
great
right.
state of New Hampshire. Live free or die. Which all in all, I didn't mind it. I mean, I'm sure Chris has some strong opinions because I feel like if I was from New Hampshire, I would have some very strong opinions. But as just a common idiot who was there, wandered around, whatever, seemed fine, seemed cool, seemed like if you want to get fucked up or eat, whatever, it seems like it's all there and it's not hard to get around. Anyway, the one thing I want to highlight is there's a popover place, which if you've never had a popover, it's kind of like it's like the shape of a muffin, but it's bread.
It's almost
And
like
it's
a souffle.
I've never had a souffle.
It's kind of like a popover.
Good description. Really makes me understand what's going on here.
Can you define the word is?
So anyway, so shape of a muffin, kinda. And it's like a hollow bread that's like buttery and whatever the hell. So popovers on the square in Portsmouth, phenomenal popovers. I've had them at Davio's before, and they make Davio's taste like fucking trash. And breakfast sandwich is good, coffee good, overall solid. But the popover game in Portsmouth, that can fucking get it.
All right. I like that. Go to Portsmouth just for the popovers.
I was thinking about it.
Were there a lot of people wearing masks walking around the streets of Portsmouth? I feel like that's an outdoor mask city.
Yeah, so I was it would definitely be more than I would have thought. Because I did like look around a couple times and I'm like, why? There's not even that many people here. I'm like, or like, do people think this is busy? Like, I don't get it. Because yeah, the mask thing, I was like, it did catch me a little off guard.
Is Portsmouth like the Cambridge of New Hampshire?
Yes. Yes.
But
But probably worse. I don't know. I shouldn't say worse. No, it's very elitist in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gorgeous fucking city, but it's
Yeah, like, and again, like, so I did like being there, and as being a tourist or someone that's, not there all the time, it's like, oh wow, a steakhouse that used to be a library, like that's kind of cool. Once it's like, oh, another bar, it's like Book and Bar, like whatever. It's like that would be maybe interesting to go with Michaela, once, or if we're away. But like the fact that like people like do shit like that every day makes it feel like very Cambridge. Except it feels like you can get around Portsmouth, and you cannot get around again.
Yeah, no, Portsmouth's pretty easy to get around. Vehicle or walking, it's easy to get around.
Yeah.
But
Was there a dungeon?
There was no dungeon. There was one place. So my one of my employees went to UNH. So she said her favorite place was called the Goat, and it looked like just like a dive type place. Like they should have bourbon shit like that. When I was wandering around on a Thursday at 2:00, the place was fucking jammed. I'm like, why the fuck is this place like slammed right now? So I ended up going to just some other place and got bourbon. But no dungeon. Someone did puke on the sidewalk though. That was interesting. That would never happen. See, that was probably closer to 1:30. At like 1:15, 1:30, that would never happen in New Orleans because someone would have been pressure washing that sidewalk by then.
That's true. They do a very good job of cleaning that shit up.
And there was some guy yelling about Jesus. It was great. Like it was some dude and his girlfriend walking down the street. And I don't know what the exchange was, but he goes, "No, sir, she cannot help you. She is not the long-term, like whatever." He goes, "The only one that can help you is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ." I'm like, this is awesome. I haven't heard that in a while.
So it is a lot like Cambridge. That's funny. Is it also too where like everyone hates the people from Portsmouth? Like everyone hates Cambridge here?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm very curious to how many people. Well, I guess Portsmouth's bigger because once you're out of the downtown is not that big.
Yeah.
Like for a city, it's not that big, but for a northeast city, it's fine.
I feel like it. So I haven't been there in probably a decade, but I have been there a few times. I feel like it's kind of almost like out of place a little bit for New Hampshire, like people wise, right? Like New Hampshire, New Hampshire is very like it's live free or die, right? Like it's very like libertarian, conservative. Like it's like people joke around. Well, they depend between the backwoods of Maine, but it's like the south of the north a little bit.
Yep.
And to find a place like Portsmouth there, it's like
Portsmouth is dark blue, the darkest of blue.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like you can trip and fall and find a coffee shop, like no problem.
Yeah, no, it's like hipster central for sure.
Yeah. It's probably there's a college right there, right? Is that what you said?
UNH isn't far.
It's like probably 20 minutes.
That's the problem. College kids ruin everything.
College kids
this is
the people.
And,
say that
old
this
white
is the
women.
people.
Those are the
Well,
two. Those are the two demos that ruin everything. Are college kids and old white women.
Old white women.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Massachusetts influence too, where people are like, well, Boston and Cambridge are kind of crowded, kind of expensive. Why don't I just go north? And it's like, I'll just try to make this into my.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire is
Cambridge.
weird because like most of the people in Southern New Hampshire are actually from Massachusetts. They just want to not live in Massachusetts. Like most of them still work in Massachusetts. Like my mom's one of them. Like my mom lives in Salem, New Hampshire. Like she still works in Massachusetts. She works in Lawrence, which is like 15 minutes away, but still like Southern New Hampshire is almost like not really New Hampshire. Like we used to joke around because my cousins and my family used to live in Londonderry. And now some of them are still there, and now the other ones are way further up. But we used to be like, oh, you're just in like northern Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's Mass North.
Yeah.
It's stretched to Manchester now.
Oh wow, all the way up.
Oh
that far up.
Oh yeah. It's creeping.
Yeah. That's fun. But you're further up. You're more around Concord though, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Concord.
Yeah, so you're
which
safe.
is, I mean, still no, not safe.
Nowhere is safe.
Nowhere is safe.
Yeah, I have cousins that live up in like Bristol. So that's pretty far north.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's safe. And then another one that lives over by Ossipee. Like in that, I forget the city or the town, but like in the Ossipee area. All right. Jones, you want to give us your final thought?
Sure. Just want to check in on everyone's New Year's resolution.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah, mine are
wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah, it's new year, new me.
Yeah, I mean, like I woke up today and it was just like everything was different.
Yeah. Yeah, I just felt so much lighter. It had nothing to do with the shit that I took either.
Yeah, it was just,
I've already. Sorry, go ahead.
I was say because I woke up on Christmas Eve super fucking hungover, and I wasn't hungover today, so I guess it's already new me.
I've already accomplished my New Year's resolution this year, and that was to not be on any of your death pool lists. So
All right,
All right.
I guess we're
I
there.
like that. Yeah, I literally didn't even stay up. Like I went to bed at like fucking 10:45 last night.
so unfortunately, I fell asleep on the couch around 9, which means I was up until about 1. Plus, I was watching the Georgia game too. That was a good game.
Yeah. I caught a little bit of that here and there.
I'm
But
2-0. I'm 2-0 gambling this year.
nice. Oh,
That's-
there you go. You should just
Can't-
stop now, and
I
then you
can't
can
lose.
claim 100% winning in
Oh,
2023.
and over my shoulder, you can see the frame I made for my country club flag. Finally got it on the wall.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how long that's been. It's funny making something as simple as a picture frame without having the right space or tools is fucking really hard.
Who knew?
Also, congrats, Bobby, on the Florida State win.
Yep, I was watching that at the rehearsal dinner, like beside myself, because I was in a room full of people. I'm like, it. Remember when in college I used to throw shit around when Florida State would play? It was been a long time, but I had the urge to do that because they were fucking losing and like they would not stop. Fucking Dylan Gabriel, and I'm like, I just want to throw stuff around this 110 grower right now.
I also am down for an SEC guys trip next year
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
because I do not want to go see a Patriots game this year. If they're gonna keep this whole fucking outfit together, I have no use seeing that game.
Yeah, I'm all good with that too. All right, Mike, you got a final thought?
Yeah, so you guys see the new Commanders mascot got released.
No, I didn't.
No, they released a mascot.
Pig?
It is a pig with
Oh,
a
Jesus.
kind of looks like one of those like World War One helmets called
It's so
Major
bad.
Cuddy.
You know what? I heard about this. Keep going.
Aside from it being one of the dumbest,
Oh,
Uh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what the fuck?
one of the dumbest mascots I've ever seen. What is it with teams having mascots that are completely unrelated to their team name?
Oh, like the Crimson Tide or an elephant.
Yeah.
The athletics are an elephant.
So
Yeah, or like the Philadelphia Phillies have like that fucking green, like Oscar the Grouch, basically, as their fucking mascot.
it's the Philly Fanatic. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the explanation with this pig thing?
Okay.
What is
So
happening?
I'm gonna add. Mike, are you good with that? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
add
good.
to your. So I'm gonna add to your final thought. There is a class action lawsuit currently regarding this mascot
Oh, God.
because back when the Redskins were actually like winning Super Bowls, they would call
The line hogs.
it's the Hogs. So it was like
The
the offensive
offensive line.
line.
Yeah.
They would call themselves the Hogs. And then like the Redskins fans would dress up with like the pig nose and dresses. And listen, I can't get like that. Those are facts of the case for what used to happen. Because they were the Hogs, they were winning Super Bowls, like shit happens, like the Purple People Eaters, like that's the best name you could come up with. Good, awesome. So now they're suing for a trademark infringement on the Hogs. They don't want the Commanders using it.
Who's suing? Like the
Suing.
players?
So that's the thing is I got to figure out because I saw this the other day. I forgot about it until he even brought it up.
So I saw.
I think the former players.
Yeah, so I saw the thing. I'm looking at it right now on ESPN of like their release of the Hogs. It says it's a reference to the Hogs, the franchise's offensive lineman during the 80s and 90s under former coach Joe Gibbs. The nickname came from offensive line coach at the time, Joe Bugle, which included notable players like Russ Grimm, Mark May, Jeff Bostic, Joe Jacoby, and Mark Schlereth. So, like, are those the guys that are suing the team?
O-Line Entertainment LLC was formed by the original members of the Hogs.
Pretty
And
sure
they have-
every offensive lineman calls himself a hog. Every single one in the country.
But it probably came from those guys in the 80s.
Yep. And they don't want the Commanders using the Hogs. They do not want the Hogs to be associated with the Commanders under its current ownership and management.
That's awesome. Good. Fuck Dan Snyder.
That's a big fuck you to the Snyder.
Yeah. That guy's a fucking cockbag.
He's not going to own the team by the end of next year, is he?
I should hope not.
I hope not. He's a good pick for the 2024 death pool if he loses his team.
Isn't the government trying to get involved with that?
Well, I
think so.
think
Yeah, they already.
yeah. What was the latest is
He was like okay with all the like the sexual harassment shit.
no, not Dan Snyder, but I think I heard something like DC will work with a new owner on a stadium, but they won't work with Dan Snyder.
That's awesome.
Which I mean,
They've literally tried everything in their power to get him out.
they can't do it.
I think
So listen, world's biggest piece of shit. Not an idiot though. He has
Yeah.
fucking dirt on everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think couldn't they vote him out? Like, couldn't they vote to force him to sell the team?
They could,
But I think it's like
Then
it's like a
then they're at-
2/3. It's like a 2/3 majority thing.
and then they're at his mercy though.
Right. Right.
I wonder all the shit he has on Jerry Jones and Kraft and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Well,
He
he's
is
the
acting
one.
pictures of
No, well,
crap.
not well. He's not the one, but the whole reason why John Gruden got fired and lost his job was because of the Commanders. Like when they were looking into like the Redskins stuff, they looked into the GM of the Redskins at the time. I forget his name,
Bruce
but
Allen.
Bruce
Allen.
Allen. So they were running through all of Bruce Allen's emails, and in those emails to Bruce Allen, he found stuff from, or they found stuff from John Gruden, who wasn't even in the NFL at the time, and that's what got Gruden fired from the Raiders.
We didn't have
Yeah. It's like the most fucked up thing. Like they're investigating the Redskins to penalize the Redskins and try and get Dan Snyder out of the league. And what comes of it is John Gruden gets fired.
I want to say
The
the Redskins even at the time went as far as to leak the emails.
Yeah.
Because whoever's doing the investigation now, I think they said something like that.
Yeah. So would be pretty interesting. So what do we got now? Chris, you got your final thought?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier I purchased a new to me vehicle yesterday. And this isn't really about that, but more of the experience with the salesman. Super nice guy, got nothing bad to say about him. He was a nice guy. But somehow we got to talking about, like, he's probably in his mid-50s, not in shape at all. Well, he's in a shape, but not in shape. And just not someone.
He's in.
Was that
In great shape for the shape he's in.
yeah? So, but it comes up the topic that like he's a black belt in karate and jujitsu, and then
Kung
he's
Fu Panda.
yeah. So like,
It's like Elvis.
and so we have like kind of like a mutual connection there. because I trained jujitsu. But so like we're talking about it, and he brings up like who he was, who his instructor was, and he starts bringing up all these old videos of like his old karate stuff from like it had to be the early 90s and mid 90s. I don't know how he had them, just on his phone. And all I was thinking was, this is fucking the McDojo life shit. Like with like you're blocking somebody trying to punch you, and then you're like swimming your arm around and getting behind them and clawing their face and dragging them to the ground. There's like all this shit. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was trying to be respectful to him and like not say anything. I was like, oh wow, it's cool, man. Like it's great. Like I think we have the UFC now to show that none of the shit fucking works, but that's fine. Like carry on with your Kenpo karate. No big deal.
He's like the Detroit survival guy.
Yeah, the dust dude. That's exactly what it was.
Or I was gonna
like,
say Rex Kwon Do from fucking
yes.
Napoleon
I was
Dynamite.
like, oh,
Yeah.
this is. It was. I don't want to say it was uncomfortable, but I was just kind of like trying not to be disrespectful, just watching him show me these videos of this old Italian dude with like this fucking amazing fro, like conducting all of these self-defense techniques. It was amazing. There's nothing more to it than that, but I was just like, it was completely surreal just watching this
As
happen,
if
like in
as
real
if buying
time.
a car wasn't shitty enough.
Yeah.
Now you got to watch
No,
this guy's
we
videos.
we were killing time watching like 90s karate videos.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
brutal.
he was showing me some movie that fucking Chuck Norris was in or something. I was like, oh my god, what is happening right now?
Oh yeah, my favorite scene from Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Do you reference Cobra Kai at all?
no.
Probably hates it. It's probably not
it's-
true to the art.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know, in a
realistic.
real fight, Chuck Norris would have beat Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee wrote in his contract that he was not going to lose a fight in his movie. It's like, all right, okay. I had someone say that once, and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
all right, man. Like,
Yeah.
that might be true, but like, hey, also at the end of the day, number one,
Who gives a fuck?
it's a movie, right? It's fake. It's a movie, and number two, it quite literally is Bruce Lee's movie. So if he wants to win and he wants to beat Chuck Norris, like that's his movie. And if
No
Chuck
one
Norris
wanted to
doesn't
see
want to
Gunnar
do that,
Stahl score in D2 the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. It's like if you didn't like that, you didn't have to be in the movie. It's fake. Like it's Hollywood, remember? But yeah. So sorry you had to deal with that.
Nah, it is what it is. It was worth it in the end.
Yeah, did
I
he get
think.
you a good deal at least?
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So before I get to my final thought, I realized I wrote down a note that I totally didn't even cover at the very beginning. That we really fucking swung and missed last year with the celebrity death pool. And every year it seems like someone dies like right at the end. Someone big dies like right at the end of the year. So this past year, right, in the course of the last week, Pele, Barbara Walters, and Pope Benedict all died. Between the five of us, we missed three of them for last year. Barbara Walters, turns out, was like fucking 94 years old. Pele was like 96. Pope Benedict the Pope was like 94. So like,
I feel like somebody had a few years ago.
I think it was a couple of years ago. Though. Yeah, might have been like 2020. So yeah, seemingly every year there's like, fuck, man, we missed that. And then on New Year's Eve, so that was New Year's Eve, like 2 days ago or yesterday, it was Pope Benedict, right? That just died. And then a New Year's Eve of I always fuck this up. Would have been 2021 going into 2020. Yeah. So New Year's Eve of 2021 was Betty White. She died on New Year's Eve last year or 2 years ago. Someone out there, oh, it's 2 years ago. Fucking loser. So yeah, I can't wait to see who it's going to be before. But that was again, that was a note that I forgot to bring up at the beginning. My actual final thought is I watched this movie yesterday with Amy, and it was called Amsterdam. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Heard of it.
Heard of that? Christian Bale.
Yeah. So It's got like when you want to talk about like star-studded cast, it's got Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, Chris Tucker is in it.
Chris Tucker, holy shit.
Oh no, fuck. Not Chris Tucker. The guy we just talked about, the comedian, Chris Rock. Sorry.
Oh no,
Chris
which
Rock.
one? Which
The
one of
other
y'all
black
just kicked me
comedian.
in?
Yeah, the other black comedian. Yeah,
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. excuse
Chappelle.
excuse my white privilege. It was Chris Rock.
It was Martin Lawrence.
Robert De Niro is in it. Timothy Oliphant, Mike Myers, the comedian, not the serial killer.
Same thing.
Thank you for clarifying.
Michael Shannon, who might be better known as Zod from the Superman movies, or the the angel from the Christmas movie with Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What?
But they get fucked up on drugs. Yeah, the night before.
Oh yeah.
So Michael Shannon is that he was in that movie. Who else was in it? There was like a million fucking people in this. Anna Joy Taylor, the girl with the big eyes that was in that Netflix show about chess master, chess something.
Wasn't called
Queen's
that at all. Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, Queen's Gambit. I know her from Glass, and that series, like Split, like
Yeah,
that.
Split. I almost said Splice, but Splice was that was.
We're really good at coming up with names right now.
That's the thing.
Rami Malek was in it. I'm trying to think of all these people that were in this like legitimate, like star-studded cast.
How bad was it?
It was bad.
You know, it's funny because I saw that too, and I'm like, oh, there's some names here, and then it was like the reviews were fucking.
It was bad. So the acting. Oh, Taylor Swift was in it too.
Ooh,
God,
yeah.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. The acting in it was great. Oh, Zoe Saldana was in it. Gamora from the Guardians of the Galaxy series. She wasn't green, so you might not recognize her, but she was in it. The individual acting in it was great, right? Like Christian Bale is one of my favorite actors, like of all time. Like he's phenomenal. He's up there with what's his dick?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Johnny Depp.
No, the other guy,
Daniel
Lincoln,
Day-Lewis.
Abraham Lincoln,
Daniel
Tom
Day-Lewis.
Cruise.
Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah,
Robert
DDL.
Redford. Rick Moranis.
Yeah, for me, Christian Bale is up there with like DDL. Like, he's just a great fucking actor. So he was great, and like the acting was good, but like the plot and like whoever directed it and edited it and put it all together was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it was very disjointed. There was no like easy flow. Things would like jump, and I was like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. But which was a shame because there was a lot of people in it and the people were good, right? Like Robert De Niro was really good. He played like a kind of a real person. So the whole situation of the movie, it's almost like a whodunit type of thing. And it's based on real life. So one of Robert De Niro played a guy who was Shemley, I think his name was, back in the 50s, was involved in a plot to overthrow the government and to remove FDR from office and instill a fascist dictatorship that would match Germany and Italy. And this guy had this whole thing. So like this movie, Amsterdam, is like that, but dramatized. So it could have been so fucking good. Like the story was juicy. The actors were phenomenal, but man, did they fuck it up bad when it came to like the directing and just like the writing probably is whatever that is. So unfortunately, I would say don't waste your time watching it. But it had a lot of really good potential to be good. It just sucked. So
Hate to
There we
see it.
go. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was glad the Big Lebowski never came out. with a sequel.
What'd you say?
That's why I'm so glad the Big Lebowski never came out with a sequel. Because it would have sucked.
That would have
Yeah.
been terrible.
Yeah, it would have been awful. There's not very many movies that can come out with a sequel like 20 years later and like pull it off.
Although we did watch Top Gun last night, and it was pretty fucking good. I thought it was better.
Yeah, Top Gun 2 was very good. I enjoyed it. Did you notice that there were a lot of scenes that were like the exact same thing as Top Gun 1?
Yeah.
Like you're doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
Which I think that's funny, but like I have like a weird sense of humor when it comes to that stuff, I guess, but you can't really pull it off, right? Like even Super Troopers, kind of like Super Troopers 2, when it came out like 20 years later, like it was okay, but like it wasn't as good. I don't know what it is. Like when you wait like that long in between movies, like it's just, you kind of lose the magic.
Heard they're trying to do that with, or have been for the past couple years, Lethal Weapon. Trying to
I've
come up
heard
sequels.
that. Yeah. Yeah. They want to bring back the Lethal Weapon series, which is weird because they have a TV show.
Had like that
Yeah.
went off the rails. Like it was pretty good, but
Yeah. Then they booted Clayne Crawford off the show.
yeah.
All right. Anyone have any last people they want to call out to die? Are we good? Good to wrap it up?
Good.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this year's episode of the Celebrity Death Pool 2023. Hopefully we get something this year. I feel like every year we do this, we're like, oh, wow, those are good names. Oh, that's good. That's a great list. That's a great list. And like, I'm looking at the list and it looks great, but somehow every year, except for, I think it was 2021, we hit like 4 or 5, but like every other year we've sucked. We've been absolutely fucking terrible. So we'll see. But thanks for coming along for the ride. We appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Wherever you're at, you can like, rate, review on whatever service you use to listen to us over there. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We are on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. There's the coaster. You can get one just like Jones. You can get anything you want with our logo on it. So go check that out. While you're at it, you can also go to mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up to double your first deposit up to $1,000. And also, you can go to grillyourassoff.com and use that same promo code SarcasmPod to get 15% off your entire order. I'm probably going to put in another order soon, so I will be using my own promo code to get 15% off there. So I think that does it. So until next time.